Hello and a very warm welcome to this special. It's time for Kolkata Knight Riders versus Sunrisers Hyderabad to try and make sure that they still have a chance to get through to the playoffs by winning the game tonight. It is Shreyas Iyer versus Kane Williamson, and the news from the MCA Stadium in Pune is that Kolkata Knight Riders have won the toss and they have opted to bat first. That's right, batting first is a clear advantage here in Pune. And Shreyas Iyer at the toss saying that that's something that they wanted to do. So Kolkata Knight Riders, they have won the toss and they have opted to bat first versus Sunrisers Hyderabad. Some changes for Kolkata Knight Riders to their playing 11. Sheldon Jackson is in for them. Umesh Yadav and Sam Billings returns to Kolkata Knight Riders playing 11. Also, for the Sunrisers, they made 3 changes to their playing 11. T. Natarajan's back, so that's good news. Washington Sundar, he's also back in the squad, and Marco Jansen has come in place of Farooqi. So those are the changes for the Kolkata Knight Riders and Sunrisers Hyderabad. This is huge though for Sunrisers Hyderabad. They've got 2 of their proven performers. T. Natarajan has been doing well, and then Washington Sundar, it's been unfortunate really because whenever he's been in the side, he's actually done well, but then he's got injured far too often.
Absolutely. Good changes by SRH. T. Natarajan has been, their bowler of the tournament. He's been brilliant in the death overs, picking up wickets, not conceding runs. And then Washington Sundar, capable of producing the cameos as he did at the start of the tournament, also very restrictive in the middle overs. So Washington Sundar is a big boost for them. Also, I think Marco Jansen had a one-off day, but I think Marco Jansen will be a good addition to the SRH squad as well. So I think three good changes by SRH. I think this is now looking at much stronger 11.
I think also for Kolkata Knight Riders, it's good that they have Umesh Yadav back, given that he has been their standout performer with the ball. He is back. He was injured. He'd strained, I think, his calf muscle, so that's good news for Kolkata Knight Riders, and Sam Billings in place of them. How much of an advantage will toss be, given that there's a clear record there in favor of teams winning the toss and batting first?
I think it is a big advantage to win the toss and bat first in Pune. That has been the nature of the wicket at Pune. You win the toss, you bat first, and you defend rather easily. So I think it's an advantage of a team batting first, and it's a good toss to win.
Okay, let's also take a look at the playing 11 now for the 2 teams, if we have those ready. First, let's take a look at the playing 11 for Sunrisers Hyderabad there. Like I said, the team has made some changes in T. Natarajan coming back. Marco Jansen is back into the side, and so has Washington Sundar. He's back into the side. And like we said, Nikhil, this is huge, but also for this team now, even if it has an outside chance, to get out of that rut of losing, given that they've lost 4 matches on the trot, if you do get a good start, they are, that's going to sort of give them the confidence. That's the most important thing. But right now, as Kolkata Knight Riders are batting first, it is really down to them getting wickets in the power play.
Absolutely. They would hope that they'll get, KKR out for less than 160, because anything above that becomes very difficult, especially if Kane Williamson continues to bat the way he is, wasting the top of the order. I think ideally Abhishek Sharma and Rahul Tripathi should open. Williamson can come at number 4. That would be a better move than opening with Williamson. But let's see what they do. Nicholas Pooran is the key in the middle order, as we have said. Nicholas Pooran is the key in the middle order. The bowling, I think, will come good today. They were slightly under par in the last 4 matches, but I think they'll come good today. I think the batting, Kane Williamson needs to deliver, and I think Nicholas Pooran needs to deliver. These 2 will be key for me.
Also, the balance that Washington Sundar gives to this side, making your batting strong, is also very important, very crucial role that he plays with the ball for Sunrisers Hyderabad. Okay, now let's take a look at Kolkata Knight Riders and their playing 11. Like we said, 2 changes for them. Sam Billings has come in, Sheldon Jackson sits out, and Umesh Yadav is also back in. Again, for them, Umesh Yadav being the top wicket taker, to see him it's almost like what the kind of difference that T. Natarajan's absence was making to Sunrisers Hyderabad is what has happened with Kolkata Knight Riders as well. So Umesh Yadav, him being back, that's a huge boost to them.
Huge boost to them. Their bowling lineup is sorted, although I'm a little worried about Varun Chakravarti's form. They dropped him in the middle. They've got him back. They've also got Venkatesh Iyer back. Venkatesh Iyer, had a good last match, but he needs to continue to fire at the top, especially if he's opening with Rahane, because Rahane is playing essentially the role of an anchor. Shreyas Iyer for me is the key today, Meha. Shreyas Iyer really needs to produce that, 70, 80 or 40 ball type of innings, because he hasn't done that in this tournament. He'll be very disappointed. A lot of reported problems between him and the KKR management. Shreyas Iyer needs to step up today.
Okay, now let's take a look at the head-to-head. Historically, how have these two teams done against each other? So they have played 22 matches and 14 have been won by Kolkata Knight Riders and 8 by Sunrisers Hyderabad. Also, since 2020, 4 have been won by Kolkata Knight Riders and 1 by Sunrisers Hyderabad. The last game, in fact, with Sunrisers Hyderabad won against them emphatically, and an important game there with Rahul Tripathi playing a match-winning knock. But overall, Kolkata Knight Riders have dominated here, Nikhil.
KKR have surprisingly have a better record against SRH. Given that SRH is one of the more consistent sides in the IPL, barring the last season, it is impressive from KKR, because KKR, with the exception of 2021, didn't have 2020, 2019, 2018. They were not the best team in the tournament. So it's impressive that they dominate SRH, and since 2020 it's 4-1. So still batting first, advantage KKR in this match.
Also, for Sunrisers Hyderabad, now we'll also take a look at what do they need to do to remain in the playoffs race. Now, for Sunrisers Hyderabad, they need to win the 3 remaining matches. That's what most important. Kolkata are all but out of the playoffs race. But for Sunrisers Hyderabad, they can reach 16 points if they win 3 matches. Nikhil, if they win 2 matches, then also they might go through.
They go through because they'll have 14 points, and then obviously it depends on results of other teams. But if there is a situation where a lot of teams finish on 14 points, which I think will be the reality, even if they win a couple of matches, if they do so by big margins, they can make it to the last 4. So ideally they want to win 3 matches, and which significantly increases the chances of making the last 4. But even if they win 2 matches, all hopes are not lost yet for SRH.
Then they'd want RR, RCB and the others to
lose, and then margin of victory becomes very important also.
Okay, so that is for Sunrisers Hyderabad. Now for the Sunrisers Hyderabad, the other problem has been that they have won on the trot and then they've lost on the trot. That has been the problem, and right now they're in that losing phase where they've lost 4 matches. And how much of a difference would that make, Nikhil, given that that is about losing momentum, and these teams, especially in the IPL, in this T20 format, it's so much about momentum. One win leads to the other. Players are motivated. There's more confidence in the side. You don't have as many days, though they've got some time off. But how much of a difference will this make?
I mean, it does make a difference. He started off by losing the first couple of matches. Then they won 5 in a row, surprising everyone. They won 5 in a row. But then again, they've got into this rut of losing. And it's very difficult to come out of this rut, especially in the business end. They've lost 4 matches. And interestingly, it's because of the bowling, Meha. It's not so much because of the batting. Batting has done reasonably well, scoring 180 plus 180 plus totals. But the bowling has let them down. Umran Malik has gone for 125 runs, 12 overs.
Correct.
Not picked any wicket. Williamson has let them down. They don't have the lack of quality of a world-class spinner in the 11. Sundar wasn't there. They don't have a leg spinner. Every other team has a high-quality leg spinner. Now spinners are coming onto their own in the tournament. So these are some of the problems SRH have had in the last few matches, and therefore they've lost the last 4 matches.
Correct. Now, what about Kolkata Knight Riders? This is about Sunrisers Hyderabad, but what about Kolkata Knight Riders? They haven't been consistent as well, despite the fact that they actually have a very good team on paper. Venkatesh Iyer, that has been such a huge problem for them. The man who really turned things around for them in the second half of IPL last year. Venkatesh Iyer was the standout batter for them, but this year has struggled. And how? Yes, the last game he did get off to a good start, But Shreyas Iyer, and somewhere all of this is related, Nikhil, because when you have your openers who are not doing well, first of all, you don't have a stable opening combo. Then on top of that, Shreyas Iyer comes in, and then he does not know what's the kind of role that he needs to play. So he tries to play that anchor role because he wants to stay on till the end, just sort of, hold guard there. It's all been confusing. And that has affected this team's chances of making it to the playoffs.
Absolutely. Venkatesh Iyer not firing at the top of they had pinned all their hopes on Venkatesh Iyer at a fine start by him, like he did in the second half in the UAE leg last season. And because of, his batting at the top of the order, KKR made it to the final. This year, it's been a complete flop show, except that he got some runs in the last match. But it is a case, I think it's a case of too little, too late. Averaging less than 20 and striking at 110. Yeah. This is not the Venkatesh Iyer we saw last season. Because of, his failures at the top of the order, Shreyas Iyer, as you said, he cannot bat in the aggressive manner he was playing for India against in the West Indies and Sri Lanka series. So Shreyas Iyer is, he's essentially playing the role of the anchor, and that is having a counterproductive it's not helping KKR's cause because they're not able to put big enough totals or chase down big totals. So therefore, it's a big problem that Venkatesh Iyer hasn't fired. It is almost imperative that he fires today if KKR had to have a chance of victory.
And on top of that, Pat Cummins, just when you thought that he was coming back to form, he got those 3 big wickets. Important wickets against the match that they were playing against Mumbai Indians. He's injured and he's out of the IPL. How much of an impact will that have? That's also important. But now let's also talk about the X-Factor players who can turn things around in today's game. For the Kolkata Knight Riders has to be Umesh Yadav. How often have we seen, especially in the first half of the tournament when Kolkata began very well, you saw it was Umesh Yadav with the new ball taking the openers out, sniffing the openers out, and that was making the difference.
He was definitely the best bowler in the first 15 to 20 days of the tournament. KKR had started their campaign with this all-out aggressive policy propagated by Brendan McCullum, which took them to the final last year. And Umesh Yadav was at the forefront of it, not only with the batting but with the bowling also. Umesh Yadav was leading the charge with the ball. And if you see overall 15 wickets, the best bowler in the power play for me. Taking wickets in the power play, also very restrictive, 6.5. A number of dot balls he has bowled, created pressure. Umesh Yadav has been a revelation in T20 cricket, and it's, certainly the length he bowls makes him, one of India's trump cards with the ball in Australia later in the year.
That's right. Okay, so that is Umesh Yadav, but now what about Sunrisers Hyderabad, Nicholas Pooran? He is the one person in this team who is an out-and-out match winner for them if he gets going. And the wonderful thing about Nicholas Pooran is that he can do it from any situation. That you could lose 3 wickets in the power play. You feel like your batsman will not be able to chase a total down. Nicholas Pooran single-handedly can win you matches. He has tried to finish well, hasn't been on the winning side, but we know what he's capable of.
Absolutely. He's shown us a couple of seasons ago, what he's capable of with the bat. For me, what stands out is his strike rate in the middle overs. It's in the 150s, amongst the highest in the tournament. He's batting at that number 4 or 5 crucial position. Also, his overall IPL strike rate of 153 is amongst the best of all time. Nicholas Pooran is perhaps the most talented of all the West Indies batsmen who are playing in the tournament. He hasn't had the best of tournament, but through his 250s, he's shown what he's capable of. For SRH to win today, in a batting lineup of accumulators and anchors, he is one batsman who stands out for his destructive style of play and can change the nature of a match within a space of 6 to 12 deliveries.
Absolutely.
So therefore he's a key in the middle order for SRH.
Okay, now let's talk about some of the key battles, the matchups that one can look forward to in the game tonight. We've got to begin then with Rahul Tripathi and who else but Sunil Narine, the most economical bowler for Kolkata Knight Riders versus Rahul Tripathi, who they'd be itching to get out.
Absolutely.
Because of what Rahul Tripathi did in the last game against his former team. 71 was what he scored and took the match away from Kolkata Knight Riders. So how do you see this one playing out? Okay, this one we've gone with Rahul Tripathi and Umesh Yadav.
Rahul Tripathi versus Umesh Yadav will also be interesting. Of course, Rahul Tripathi has been brilliant in this tournament. He's carrying on, with his form for KKR last season, where he was the unsung hero, had a strike rate of 140. This year, Maya, he's taken his strike rate to 170 and he's batting in the top order. Absolutely brilliant, Rahul Tripathi. If you see, this is a very interesting record against Umesh Yadav. He's dominated Umesh Yadav. No dismissals, a strike rate of 209. It's a very interesting very surprising head-to-head record, I must say. Also, Rahul Tripathi was Sunil Narine we were talking about. That is also a head-to-head, which is also, I think it is dominated by, if you see Rahul Tripathi again, because Rahul Tripathi, has taken to Sunil Narine to the cleaners. He has a good strike rate against him. So Rahul Tripathi is the key, not only in the top order, but if he plays a long innings in the middle order, that's why he'll face Sunil Narine.
Okay, then let's also talk about Andre Russell versus Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Now, how good has Andre Russell been, despite the fact that no one else seems to be performing around him? He has contributed with the bat. If not that, then he's contributed with the ball. He is the second highest wicket taker right now for Kolkata Knight Riders. But look at that, Bhuvneshwar Kumar has dismissed him twice in 5 innings.
Twice in 5 innings, but it's come at a cost. And the cost is pretty high. If you see,
but that's Andre Russell.
That's Andre Russell. So, most of those runs have come at the death. 27 balls, 60 runs, striking at 222. So clearly, Andre Russell has had the wood over Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and Andre Russell has been in good form in the tournament. So has Bhuvneshwar Kumar. So this could be an interesting battle, which will pan out towards over 17 to 20 at the death.
Yeah, the other one is the all West Indian battle between Nicholas Pooran and Sunil Narine. How do you see that playing out? With 14 innings, he's just been dismissed twice. So Nicholas Pooran, they're bossing this one, I would think.
Yeah, Nicholas Pooran's had the better of Sunil, which is interesting because Sunil Narine is an off-spinner. He takes the ball away from Nicholas Pooran. Yet Nicholas Pooran has sort of dominated this battle. They've played a lot in the CPL and for the West Indies. This is going to be a key battle in the middle overs because if Nicholas Pooran gets away, it's trouble for KKR. So therefore, Sunil Narine, who's not taken too many wickets but been the most economical spinner in the tournament, he'll hope to get one past Nicholas Pooran today.
Okay, now for all of you who've just joined us, this is what is going on. Kolkata Knight Riders have won the toss and they've opted to bat first at the MCA Stadium in Pune. Shreyas Iyer at the toss saying that history suggests toss being or batting first being an advantage at the stadium. So Shreyas Iyer winning the toss, opting to bat first. Kolkata Knight Riders have made 2 changes to their playing 11. Umesh Yadav for them is back. Good news for them. And Sam Billings has come back. Sheldon Jackson is out. So those are the 2 changes for the Kolkata Knight Riders. For the Sunrisers Hyderabad, 3 changes to their playing 11. Now for them again, good news. T. Natarajan's back. Washington Sundar's back. And Marco Jansen's been brought back as well, presumably for Marco Jansen to bounce some of those Kolkata batsmen out of the game. And that's something now, that's kind of the ploy that we've seen. A lot of opposition, a lot of other teams adopt against Kolkata Knight Riders.
Yeah, I mean, they have a problem against the short ball. There's no doubt about it. And it's going to be interesting how they face the pace of Umran Malik, Marco Jansen. It's going to be interesting. So, yeah, I think overall I still feel KKR batting first has the edge today.
Okay. Kolkata Knight Riders also have the edge here because batting first teams have done really well. On top of that, Kolkata Knight Riders themselves have done very well at this stadium. They won most of their matches here except losing 1 or 2, whereas for the Sunrisers Hyderabad, they have struggled on this ground in previous encounters. So that's another thing that's in favor of Kolkata Knight Riders. Now, let's also take a look at the playing 11 for the 2 teams. And right after that, we'll talk about our predictions. So, Kane Williamson's team, as we said, 3 changes, 2 changes there they would have welcomed with T. Natarajan and Washington Sundar coming back in. So that's good news for them. If Sunrise, this is by far their best team. They're playing their best 11 with Washington Sundar in there, with T. Natarajan healthy, fit there. So that's that's Sunrisers Hyderabad's team. Again, though, it'll come down to how they bowl in the power plays against Kolkata Knight Riders. Anything beyond 160, 170 is going to be difficult to chase down from this team. Now, that's Kolkata Knight Riders playing 11. They've made far too many changes, but at the toss, Shreyas Iyer clarified today that both have been forced changes. So, Umesh Yadav is back. He's fit, so he had to come back. And Sam Billings is there in place of Sheldon Jackson. That's the playing 11 for Kolkata Knight Riders. Okay, prediction time before we wrap this up, Nikhil. Kolkata Knight Riders versus Sunrisers Hyderabad. You're already saying Kolkata have the edge.
Kolkata have the edge.
Do you want to get into the specific? Kolkata are batting first. How much do you think they'll score?
175.
And who will be their highest run scorer?
Venkatesh Iyer.
Venkatesh Iyer? Okay. Okay, I would, like always, think that Sunrisers Hyderabad will win this one. I mean, how long can they keep on losing? They've lost 4. They've got a good team. They've got Tina Trajan back. Washington Sundar is back in this side. I do see them. And Umran Malik also. He may have gone for too many runs, but we've also seen him being exceptional in so many matches earlier on in the tournament. So hopefully it'll be Sunrisers Hyderabad. That also makes things interesting for all the others in the tournament. So yeah, I would think Sunrisers Hyderabad will win this one. We'll see who wins this, but News 9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to get the latest from the world of sports. That's it from Nikhil and me. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.